Money has no morality, no loyalty, and no bias. It simply flows toward the consciousness that matches its vibration. It bends, shifts, and aligns itself through the angle of perception you hold toward it. The angle of money is not geometry in the physical sense. It is the spiritual geometry of your awareness. Every thought you have about money, every emotion you hold when you think of it, every silent expectation you cast into the field of possibility bends the stream of wealth toward or away from you. Money, like energy, is responsive. It listens, it remembers the frequency of your belief. And most of all, it mirrors your sense of worth. When you understand this, you stop chasing money and start aligning with it. You realize money is not earned through struggle, it is received through allowance. It does not come because you are desperate or because you have worked yourself into exhaustion. It comes because you have entered the rhythm of receptivity. The angle of your awareness shifts from lack to abundance, from fear to faith, from hustle to harmony. And suddenly life rearranges itself. Unexpected opportunities arise, people show up to help, ideas flow effortlessly, and resources begin to move toward you as if pulled by an invisible magnet. That magnet is your energy. Money is alive, not in the way we define life, but in the way all energy lives, in motion, in vibration, in resonance. When you look at money as lifeless, you reduce its potential. But when you see it as conscious, you start to speak with it, listen to it, and feel it. You stop treating it as a piece of paper or a number in a bank account. You begin to see it as a form of universal intelligence, a messenger of your alignment with abundance. And when you honor it, bless it, and handle it with gratitude instead of guilt, the angle between you and the infinite source narrows until you are one with the flow itself. Most people, without realizing it, hold money at an emotional angle of resistance. They want it, yet they fear it. They pray for it, yet they secretly believe it's wrong to have too much of it. They ask for abundance, but their energy vibrates scarcity. This creates a distortion, an energetic misalignment that repels what they are trying to attract. The universe doesn't hear words, it hears frequency. And when your words say, "I am abundant," but your emotion whispers, "I am afraid," the frequency of fear dominates. That fear becomes the angle that reflects abundance away from you. To change your relationship with money, you must change your vibration toward it. This begins not with action but with awareness. You begin to observe how you feel when you pay bills, when you think about debt, when you see someone wealthier than you. Every emotional reaction is a clue to your energetic stance. If there is envy, resentment, or judgment, then your vibration is tilted away from abundance. The angle of money bends through emotion. Gratitude flattens the angle, fear widens it. The more gratitude you feel, the closer you align with the straight, clear channel through which money flows. You must remember, the universe is infinitely wealthy. It has never run out of gold, of opportunities, of new ideas, of new paths. The limitation only exists within the consciousness that perceives separation from that infinite source. The angle is never outside. It is within. Each time you believe money is limited, you widen that angle, and energy begins to deflect rather than collect. But when you shift into awareness that says, "I am connected to all wealth," that belief straightens the pathway. You stop being a seeker of money and become a conduit for it. There is a secret rhythm to wealth, a vibration that hums just beneath the noise of worry. It speaks through ease, not effort. It responds to certainty, not desperation. It flows through joy, not fear. When you are joyful, your energy field expands, and you become a transmitter of abundance. That expansion changes the electromagnetic field around your heart, and the quantum field mirrors that frequency back in the form of circumstances, opportunities, and yes, money. You do not attract money because you need it. You attract it because you are in the frequency of joy, which is the frequency of abundance itself. Your thoughts about money are not just mental constructs. They are energetic blueprints. Every time you think, "I can afford this," "I am open to more," or "I deserve financial freedom," you are constructing new angles of reality in the quantum field. These thoughts vibrate as signals calling forth new probabilities from the infinite. The field responds to conviction. It does not respond to words you do not believe. So you must train your emotion until belief becomes your natural frequency. You must feel rich before you see riches. You must embody wealth before it becomes visible. The angle of money is always spiritual first, physical second. There are people who work tirelessly and never prosper, and there are those who move through life with grace and magnetize abundance effortlessly. The difference is not effort, it is angle. One works from resistance, the other from alignment. When you are aligned, time stretches, opportunities multiply, what once seemed impossible begins to unfold naturally. That is not luck, it is resonance. The more you align your thoughts with abundance, the more abundance recognizes you as its reflection. Every time you say, "I can't afford this," you declare to the universe that you are separate from abundance. That statement becomes a command, and the universe obeys. But every time you say, "I am open to the ways this can come," you shift from limitation to possibility. That shift, that angle change, is everything. In that moment, your energy expands, your heart opens, and the field reorganizes around your new belief. The quantum realm does not know time, it knows alignment. When alignment occurs, manifestation collapses into the present moment. Money loves clarity, it loves direction, it loves to be told where to go with purpose and intention. If you hoard it in fear, it stagnates. If you release it in faith, it multiplies. It behaves like water, it must flow, and just as water nourishes where it moves, money expands the energy it touches. When you spend with love, when you give with gratitude, when you receive with joy, you are keeping the current of wealth alive. That is why money is called currency. It is meant to move. The angle of money becomes rigid only when you block that movement with fear or guilt. You were never meant to worship money, nor were you meant to reject it. You were meant to master it by mastering your energy. The world has been taught to either chase money or despise it, and both are distortions. The truth is, money is a mirror. It shows you your current vibration of self-worth. When you love yourself deeply, when you believe in your value, when you recognize that your ideas, your presence, and your contribution are sacred, money begins to flow naturally. It seeks the vibration of self-recognition. It gravitates toward the one who knows their worth. Do not ask for money in fear. Command it in confidence. Speak to it as an ally. Tell it, "I am ready for you to flow freely through my life. I will use you for good, for joy, for expansion." In that moment, you transform the relationship from control to cooperation. You no longer beg the universe for provision. You co-create with it. You become a conscious architect of prosperity. The universe does not reward struggle, it rewards vibration. Look around you. The trees never doubt whether they will grow. The sun never questions if it should shine. The rivers do not resist their flow. Only the human mind interrupts the natural stream of abundance with thoughts of not enough. But when you return to your original design, to trust, to flow, to openness, you realign with the rhythm of creation itself. The angle of money corrects itself when the heart surrenders the idea of separation. The reason so many people stay in lack is not because money is scarce, but because their energy is inconsistent. One day they believe, the next day they doubt. One day they affirm abundance, the next they worry about bills. That oscillation splits the signal, it confuses the field. The universe cannot deliver clarity to a divided vibration. You must choose abundance with unwavering conviction. You must live as though you already are abundant, not as a trick, but as truth. When you think of money, imagine it as light. It shines brighter where it is welcomed, and dims where it is resisted. Every act of gratitude increases its brilliance. Every thought of limitation clouds it. The angle of money brightens through appreciation. Say thank you for every coin, every opportunity, every act of generosity that crosses your path. Gratitude is not just politeness, it is alchemy. It transforms scarcity into sufficiency and sufficiency into overflow. Your subconscious mind is the vault, where your beliefs about money are stored. Most of these beliefs were inherited, passed down from parents, culture, religion, and experience. But the beautiful truth is that beliefs can be rewritten. You can reprogram your subconscious by repetition, emotion, and imagination. When you visualize abundance daily and feel as if it's already yours, you rewrite the energetic software that controls your financial reality. The subconscious obeys feeling, not logic. So if you want to attract wealth, you must feel wealthy long before it arrives. Wealth does not respond to numbers, it responds to frequency. You can have $1 and still hold the vibration of a millionaire. You can have $1 million and still carry the vibration of poverty. The difference is energy. Money is simply the outer echo of the inner song you sing. If your inner song is one of joy, generosity, and faith, money dances to your rhythm. But if your inner song is one of fear, guilt, and scarcity, money fades into silence. To master the angle of money, you must also master neutrality. When you become emotionally neutral about money, when it no longer dictates your mood, you free it. You stop chasing it and start creating it. That neutrality tells the universe, I am already complete. And from that wholeness, abundance multiplies. Lack consciousness says, when I have more, I'll feel safe. Abundance consciousness says, because I feel safe, more comes. One waits, the other creates. The universe mirrors your faith, not your fear. If you hold fear about losing money, you will manifest situations that test that fear. But if you hold faith in infinite supply, life will demonstrate it to you. You are not meant to live under financial tension. You are meant to experience freedom. The freedom to express, to give, to expand. Money is a tool of that expansion. When used with awareness, it amplifies your purpose. When feared, it contracts it. The shift begins in silence. Sit each day and breathe into the frequency of abundance. Imagine light filling your body, radiating out into the field. See yourself surrounded by an ocean of infinite wealth, not as fantasy, but as truth. Feel gratitude for the unseen flow already moving toward you. That feeling becomes a command to the quantum field. The longer you stay in that feeling, the faster reality bends to meet it. Money is energy, and energy obeys attention. Wherever your consistent attention goes, the current of creation follows. If you constantly focus on debt, you are feeding the vibration of lack, and the universe expands it to match your focus. But when you consistently place your attention on prosperity, not as a fantasy, but as a feeling, you start feeding the vibration of abundance, and the current begins to turn. The angle shifts. This is why awareness is the first wealth. You cannot change a vibration you are not aware of. Once you see the pattern, you are no longer bound by it. Think of the angle of money as the meeting point between your faith and your frequency. If faith rises, the angle sharpens, energy flows in more directly. If fear rises, the angle widens and flow disperses. Every thought of trust straightens your channel to the infinite. Every thought of doubt tilts it away. Money is not a mystery, it is mathematics in motion, a divine equation balanced by thought and emotion. When you align thought and feeling into one coherent signal, the equation resolves itself through visible prosperity. You are not here to survive, you are here to create. The soul's nature is expansion, and money is one of the many languages through which expansion expresses itself. It is not a burden, it is a conversation between your inner abundance and the world's physical form. The more fluent you become in the language of energy, the more easily you speak in the dialect of wealth. You stop translating abundance into money and start translating energy into experience. That is when money becomes effortless, because it's no longer about chasing numbers, but amplifying frequency. The human mind was never designed to chase, it was designed to direct. You are a director of energy, a sculptor of vibration. When you visualize prosperity, when you affirm your worth, when you radiate gratitude for the blessings you already hold, you are not wishing, you are constructing. Each thought becomes an architectural blueprint in the invisible. The angle of money adjusts with each thought of faith, each emotion of certainty, each gesture of generosity. You are the engineer of your financial destiny, not its victim. Generosity is the highest geometry of money. When you give with an open heart, you multiply the flow through the angle of expansion. Giving does not deplete, it amplifies. The law of circulation governs all energy. What you send out in love returns to you multiplied. This is not superstition, it is resonance. When you give joyfully, you tell the universe, I trust in infinite supply. That trust becomes a magnet. What you release freely comes back with acceleration. This is why those who give from abundance never run out. Their angle is clear, their flow is continuous. But giving from guilt or fear reverses the current. You cannot give while believing you're losing. You must give from a knowing that says, there is more where this came from. Every act of giving, done in faith, polishes your energetic lens until you see the world not as a collection of needs, but as a continuum of supply. The angle of money aligns perfectly when the heart beats in rhythm with generosity. We must also remember that money mirrors order. Chaos in thought leads to chaos in finance. When your energy is scattered, when your intentions are unfocused, the universe cannot organize flow. But when you become specific, deliberate, and emotionally coherent, money responds. Write down your intentions with clarity. Not from need, but from certainty. Visualize the outcome. Feel it as real. Then release it. Do not cling to it. Detachment is the evidence of faith. You cannot be in faith and fear simultaneously. The energy must be clean. Faith is not blind optimism. It is the awareness that energy is obedient. It listens to conviction. It is sculpted by certainty. Each time you hold the feeling of financial ease, even when the outer world contradicts it, you are training the field to recognize your new frequency. Eventually, the outer must reflect the inner. Reality is not separate from you. It is the delayed mirror of your vibration. The greatest illusion humanity ever believed is that money comes from other people. It does not. People are channels, not sources. The source is always the field, the infinite intelligence that operates beyond perception. When you stop depending on people and start trusting the field, you free yourself from disappointment. The universe can deliver through any avenue. A new idea, a new collaboration, an unexpected blessing, a sudden inspiration. Money is simply the physical translation of spiritual alignment. There are two forces in every financial journey: contraction and expansion. Contraction is born of fear. It says, hold on, protect, survive. Expansion is born of trust. It says, release, create, thrive. Your job is to remain in expansion even when circumstances tempt contraction. When fear whispers, what if there's not enough? Respond with, I am always supported. Each moment of faith expands your energetic radius. The larger your field, the greater the magnetic pull of abundance. Every emotion carries frequency, and money is most attracted to emotions of peace, joy, and appreciation, anxiety, guilt, and resentment. Lower your field and distort the angle. This is why financial miracles often follow emotional healing. When you forgive yourself for past mistakes with money, when you release shame about debt or loss, you clear the signal. The field responds immediately to inner release. What once felt stuck begins to move. The external mirrors the internal reconciliation. Let's understand that abundance is not a future event. It's a present vibration. You do not reach abundance, you return to it. You were born abundant because you were born connected to infinite intelligence. The angle of money only becomes distorted through learned separation. The moment you remember who you are, a creator, not a beggar, the distortion dissolves. Money is not outside of you. It is the reflection of the wealth already vibrating within you. And this inner wealth is multidimensional. It expresses as creativity, inspiration, health, love, and yes, financial prosperity. When you honor one form, you honor them all. When you stifle creativity, you restrict financial flow. When you open to joy, you open to wealth. The universe doesn't differentiate. It only responds to openness. That is why happiness is one of the fastest ways to attract abundance. Joy is the language of the divine, and money understands it perfectly. You must begin to feel abundance in your body. The nervous system must be taught that wealth is safe. Many people unconsciously reject prosperity because their bodies associate it with stress, attention, or rejection. You must reprogram safety into wealth. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and imagine waves of gold light flowing into your body. Feel your nervous system relax as you receive it. Whisper to yourself, it's safe to be wealthy. It's safe to expand. It's safe to receive. As you do this daily, your body becomes a vessel ready to hold greater flow. The angle of money sharpens through self-worth. When you undervalue your gifts, you lower the frequency of your field. When you overgive and undercharge, you distort the balance. The universe does not judge, but it mirrors. If you undervalue your energy, it mirrors undervaluation back to you. The correction begins the moment you recognize your value as infinite. You were born as an expression of divine intelligence, therefore your worth is immeasurable. When you know this, you stop negotiating your value, and money begins to align in proportion to your recognition of your own light. Let every thought about money become a prayer of power. Instead of saying, "I can't afford it," say, "The way for this is being made." Instead of saying, "It's too expensive," say, "Abundance is expanding to meet this desire." Instead of asking, "When will I have more?" say, "I am open now." Words are vibrations, and vibrations are commands. The universe obeys tone more than grammar. Speak with the tone of certainty, and life echoes it back in form. If you wish to elevate your relationship with money, treat it with reverence. Organize your wallet, bless every bill, bless your bank account before you open it. Feel gratitude even for the smallest amount, because gratitude multiplies everything it touches. Do not check your balance in fear, check it in appreciation. Say thank you for what's here and thank you for what's coming. That small act changes your electromagnetic field immediately. The frequency of gratitude is the frequency of attraction. Many think money is freedom, but true freedom is the vibration that attracts money. Freedom is an inner state, a knowing that you are unlimited. When you live from that knowing, the universe mirrors freedom in your external reality. Opportunities appear, creative ideas blossom, financial channels open. You do not earn freedom, you embody it. When you embody it, money becomes one of its expressions. Everything in your life is energy dancing in resonance with your beliefs. If you want to change the dance, change the rhythm. If your thoughts about money are filled with tension, soften them. Replace force with flow. Replace urgency with faith. Replace impatience with trust. Money moves fastest toward those who are at peace with its presence and absence alike. Paradoxically, when you no longer need it to prove your worth, it arrives to reflect your worth. Imagine the angle of money as a golden funnel above you, always pouring wealth from the infinite into your life. When you are aligned, the funnel points directly into your field. The flow is smooth, constant, unbroken. But when you doubt, fear, or criticize yourself, the funnel tilts and flow diverts. The supply is never cut, it simply shifts angle. Your job is not to create wealth, but to straighten your alignment, so that the flow reaches you unobstructed. Every thought of joy straightens the funnel. Every act of gratitude polishes it. Every belief of worthiness anchors. This is the sacred geometry of abundance, the alignment between your inner certainty and outer reality. And when that geometry is precise, manifestation becomes inevitable. The energy of money is not linear. It moves in spirals, in waves, in expanding circles of reciprocity. Each time you receive and give in balance, you ascend to a new frequency where even greater flow awaits. That's why wealth consciousness is not about accumulation, it's about circulation. What you circulate multiplies, what you hoard stagnates. The angle of money responds to movement. Stillness in fear blocks it, stillness in faith attracts it. When you release money with trust, it comes back carrying new opportunities, new allies, new pathways of ease. The more conscious you become of this rhythm, the more playfully you interact with it. You stop seeing money as serious or scarce, and start seeing it as a dance partner in the choreography of creation. You begin to realize that every financial transaction is an energy exchange, a mirror reflecting your vibration at that moment. When you buy something in joy, the energy returns multiplied. When you buy something in fear, the energy contracts. Conscious spending becomes conscious creating. At a higher level, money becomes a teaching tool. It shows you where your faith lives and where your doubt hides. If you feel anxious every time you think of paying a bill, it's not the bill that's the problem, it's the energy behind it. The bill is neutral, your interpretation creates charge. The universe is showing you where to adjust your vibration. Instead of reacting, you can bless that bill and say, "Thank you for reminding me that I am the source of all provision." That single thought transforms the frequency from fear to power. Money cannot remain where it is unloved. If you resent it, if you fear it, if you believe it corrupts, it will quietly leave your field. Energy goes where it is honored. So bless it, love it, welcome it as a sacred guest that brings expansion wherever it flows. When you hold that energy, money becomes not just a means of exchange but a teacher of consciousness. It reflects your growth, your worth, your belief, and your willingness to receive. Receiving, for many, is the hardest part. We have been conditioned to give endlessly but hesitate to receive. We fear judgment. We question our deservingness. We shrink from praise or gifts. But in the energetic world, giving and receiving are one breath. You cannot exhale without inhaling. When you allow yourself to receive freely, you complete the cycle. You affirm your oneness with the source that provides through all channels. The angle of money expands not just through giving but through joyful receiving. If you want more to flow to you, practice receiving without apology. When someone offers a compliment, say thank you. When life sends a small blessing, acknowledge it. When unexpected money arrives, no matter the amount, celebrate it. Every act of celebration multiplies frequency. You are teaching the universe how to treat you by the way you receive. Money has its own consciousness. It recognizes authenticity. It gravitates to the hearts that are sincere, not desperate. When you are authentic, when your intention is pure and aligned with service, money feels safe around you. It knows it will be used to expand, to uplift, to create beauty. You become a steward of abundance, not a possessor of it. The more consciously you use it, the more willingly it returns. Every prosperous soul understands this simple truth. Wealth is not accumulation, it is expression. When you use your gifts, when you express your passion, when you create value through joy, the universe compensates you naturally. Compensation is not a favor, it's the law of resonance. You are paid in proportion to the energy you radiate, not the time you spend. The moment your energy expands beyond fear, compensation flows effortlessly. The secret is not working harder but vibrating higher. Work inspired by fear drains you. Work inspired by love multiplies you. The difference lies in vibration, not in effort. When you move from inspiration, you're carried by the current of the universe. Ideas flow. Synchronicities align. You meet the right people at the right time. That's not coincidence. It's coherence. Coherence between thought, emotion, and action forms the perfect angle through which abundance flows unhindered. Notice that when you are joyful, your sense of time shifts. Hours pass effortlessly. You feel expanded, timeless. That state of expansion is the state of abundance. In that state, you become the field. It's not something you attract, it's something you are, and when you are abundance itself, money simply becomes one of the many languages through which the universe converses with you. The field of infinite supply is always around you, waiting for your permission to enter. Permission is given through faith. Faith is not passive, it is the active alignment of energy towards certainty. You don't beg the universe, you synchronize with it. You speak its language through feeling. When you feel rich, grateful, empowered, the universe translates that vibration into material form. But when you feel anxious, desperate, or unworthy, it mirrors those emotions back as delay or limitation. So your task each day is to tune the frequency. Ask yourself, what angle am I standing in right now? Fear or faith, doubt or trust? And if you find yourself in fear, don't resist it. Breathe it, observe it, love it until it softens. Awareness is transformation. The moment you witness fear without judgment, it loses its charge. You realign with truth. The angle corrects itself not through force but through presence. As your awareness deepens, money begins to serve you in ways you never imagined. It brings freedom, but also lessons. It teaches patience when flow slows, humility when abundance surges, and clarity when priorities shift. Every phase of your financial journey mirrors an aspect of your inner evolution. When you view money as a teacher, not a test, you rise above the polarity of having and not having. You begin to dwell in the constant state of sufficiency. Sufficiency is the awareness that, right now, you are supported. It's the vibration that whispers, I have enough, I am enough, I give enough. From that vibration, overflow is born. The universe never sends more to the one who feels unworthy of what they already have. It sends more to the one who honors the current flow. Gratitude, again, is the portal. Every thank you speak opens a new door of supply. Your energy field is your bank. The universe deposits ideas, inspiration, and opportunities into it daily. The question is, are you tuned to receive them? Most people ignore the inner deposits because they're fixated on outer signs. But the outer is only the echo. The true fortune is in the invisible realm. The idea that could change your life, the intuition that whispers the next step, the courage that says, trust the unseen. These are the currencies of the universe, and they convert into material wealth when acted upon in faith. Action, then, becomes sacred when aligned with intuition. Don't move because of fear of missing out. Move because the inner nudge feels alive. Inspired action opens energetic doors faster than any external strategy. The angle of money obeys joy, not pressure. When you act from joy, time bends to your favor. Results arrive in divine precision. You must also understand that wealth consciousness doesn't mean you never experience contrast. There will be moments of contraction, pauses in flow, periods of silence. But these are not punishments. They are recalibrations. They are moments where the universe asks, will you trust even now? Every time you trust in the midst of uncertainty, you strengthen your magnetic field. The next wave of abundance that follows is always bigger than the last. In truth, the universe is playful. It loves to surprise you, to outdo your expectations. When you hold your desires too tightly, you block the play. But when you relax, laugh, and allow, the universe begins to orchestrate miracles through effortless timing. The angle of money thrives in the vibration of joy. Joy tells the universe, I am open. Remember that prosperity is personal. It has its own rhythm for you. What flows to one may not flow to another, because every soul has a unique energetic design. Comparing your financial path to someone else's distorts your field. The moment you compare, you say to the universe, I am separate, and separation widens the angle. Stay in your lane of light. Focus on your frequency. Your abundance is coded in your unique vibration, and no one can replicate that. The more you honor your path, the more abundance finds you effortlessly. You will notice that money starts to appear from unexpected places, not as miracles, but as normal reflections of your alignment. Someone pays you back suddenly, a project expands, a new stream of income emerges, or your expenses reduce in synchrony. These are all signs that your field is harmonizing. The universe wastes nothing. It organizes everything with divine intelligence. When you are in this state, you will feel time slow down. You'll notice that manifestation becomes almost immediate. You'll think of something, and it arrives. You'll speak an intention, and within days, it unfolds. That's because your angle is now pure alignment. No resistance, no doubt, no delay. You have become the embodiment of the frequency you once sought. You and money are no longer separate. You are extensions of the same creative field. The final transformation comes when you no longer chase abundance, but channel it. When you say, how can I serve? Instead of how can I earn? That's when money multiplies without effort. Service opens the widest angle of all, because it aligns you with the highest vibration. Love is the master frequency through which all abundance flows. When you give from love, work from love, and receive through love, you unlock the infinite. Love then becomes the ultimate currency. It is the vibration that dissolves resistance, that expands every channel, that invites all forms of prosperity to flow toward you. When your heart opens in love for what you do, love for yourself, love for others, you emit the purest frequency the universe recognizes, and money, being a reflection of energy, rushes to that frequency like metal to a magnet. Love removes the angle entirely. It creates a direct line between the infinite source and your material world. When you love your work multiplies. When you love your creations, they attract those who are ready to support them. When you love your life, every area begins to blossom, because love is alignment embodied. It is the language of the quantum field. In love, you stop questioning whether you deserve abundance, because you realize you are abundance. You are the expression of divine supply flowing through form. And that realization changes everything. Money amplifies whatever energy it touches. In the hands of fear, it creates limitation. In the hands of love, it creates expansion. That is why your relationship with money must be built on love, not need. Need says, I lack. Love says, I overflow. Need vibrates with scarcity. Love vibrates with infinite creation. When you give, spend, save, or invest from love, you multiply your energy. You begin to see money not as something you use, but as something you partner with in creating goodness, beauty, and expansion on earth. In the frequency of love, generosity becomes natural. You do not give to prove worthiness. You give because you are so full that sharing is inevitable. You do not calculate what you might lose. You feel the thrill of expansion as you pour your abundance outward. The universe always replaces what is given in love with something even greater, because love is never depleted, it is self-generating. The more you give, the more you become. This is the point at which many experience a deep awakening. They realize they have never been chasing money, but chasing the feeling they thought money would bring: freedom, security, peace, joy. Yet those feelings have been available all along, waiting for recognition. When you generate them internally first, money arrives to match them externally. The field cannot deny coherence. The outer mirrors the inner, always. You are meant to live in the vibration of ease. Not idleness, but ease. The sense that life moves through you, not against you. That is when creation becomes effortless. You speak ideas into being, you magnetize people and opportunities, and you move through the world as one who trusts completely in their divine supply. This is the mastery of the angle of money. When all resistance dissolves into knowing, the angle no longer exists because there is no separation between you and abundance. You have become the flow. You no longer see yourself as earning or manifesting. You see yourself as light allowing. Allowing is the art of faith in motion. It's the quiet confidence that says, the supply that created me sustains me. And with that confidence, all effort becomes inspired action. And every inspired action multiplies return. The most powerful affirmation of abundance is not a sentence you repeat. It is the vibration you live. It is waking each morning and knowing you are provided for before you even move. It is paying every bill with gratitude rather than worry. It is looking at others' success and feeling celebration, not comparison. It is seeing the beauty in every exchange of energy, whether through money, love, or time, and recognizing that it is all the same divine substance taking different forms. If you wish to amplify this flow, begin your days in appreciation. Before you reach for your phone, breathe deeply and say, I am open to receive all forms of prosperity today. Feel those words, not just say them. Imagine golden light spiraling around you, connecting you with the infinite grid of supply that has always existed. As you move through your day, act as though abundance is your companion, not your goal. Greet every moment as a friend delivering gifts in disguise. In the evening, review your day not for what went wrong, but for what flowed beautifully. Count your blessings with deliberate awareness. Each acknowledgement is an energetic deposit in the account of your consciousness. The more gratitude you accumulate, the more your vibration compounds, and the faster wealth reflects it back in form. Gratitude is the compound interest of the soul. Now understand this. Abundance is not limited to the physical. You can be rich in time, in health, in peace, in relationships, in creativity. Each dimension of wealth reinforces the others. When you nurture one, the rest align. True prosperity is wholeness, the recognition that nothing is missing. From wholeness, financial abundance is simply one of many reflections. As your consciousness expands, your perception of money becomes multidimensional. You begin to see it not as possession, but as participation. You participate in the dance of energy, exchanging value with life itself. You realize that every thought of love, every act of kindness, every inspired idea contributes to the collective wealth of humanity. The more consciousness expands collectively, the more material abundance flows globally. Each individual who heals their relationship with money helps heal the energetic economy of the world. Imagine for a moment if every person viewed money as love in form, how effortlessly it would circulate, how generously it would be shared, how creatively it would be used to build beauty and equality. Scarcity would dissolve overnight because scarcity is born of fear, not fact. There has always been enough. It is the consciousness of separation that creates the illusion of lack. When humanity shifts its angle collectively, the flow of abundance becomes a global current that uplifts all. This is your invitation. 2. Become a steward of that consciousness. to see your prosperity not as personal success, but as participation in universal expansion. When you thrive consciously, you inspire others to believe that thriving is possible. Your energy becomes permission for others to rise. Abundance is contagious when it's anchored in awareness. Do not mistake humility for denial of abundance. True humility is not shrinking from greatness. It is knowing that greatness flows through you, not from you. The universe expresses wealth through those who are willing to carry it with grace, gratitude, and wisdom. When you honor money as sacred energy and not personal property, you become an instrument of infinite good. The more you bless others, through your abundance, the more abundance blesses you. There will come a moment in your journey when you no longer measure wealth in what you hold, but in what you feel. You will realize that the richest moments of your life are not marked by transactions, but by expansions of the heart. The conversation that awakened someone's hope. The project that lifted a community. The generosity that brought tears of gratitude to another's eyes. Those are the true currencies of the universe. Money simply follows them, like a faithful servant following purpose. At this point, your manifestation power becomes effortless. Because you no longer desire from lack, you desire from fullness. Your desires become extensions of divine will, not egoic craving, and the universe fulfills them swiftly because they serve expansion, not attachment. You are now in harmony with the grand symphony of creation. When you master the angle of money, you become the embodiment of prosperity consciousness. You live in continual dialogue with the infinite, asking, receiving, giving, and expanding without resistance. You feel the pulse of abundance in every breath, in every exchange, in every moment. You are no longer waiting for wealth. You are the frequency of wealth itself. And as you move through life with that awareness, you begin to notice subtle miracles everywhere. The parking space that appears just when you need it. The stranger who offers help at the perfect moment. The opportunity that unfolds without planning. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations. They are signs that your field is coherent, that the angle is open, that you are aligned with the rhythm of infinite supply. Carry this knowing into every thought, every word, every action. Bless your finances daily. Speak abundance into your life and the lives of others. Refuse to participate in conversations of limitation. Wherever you go, let your energy announce, there is enough, I am enough, and life is always providing. That vibration alone transforms environments. Finally, remember, money is not the goal, consciousness is. For when consciousness rises, everything else aligns. The angle of money is simply the angle of your awareness toward the truth of who you are, limitless, radiant, divine. When you see yourself clearly, the universe sees you as the perfect vessel for all abundance to flow through. And it does. Effortlessly. You are not chasing wealth. You are awakening to it. You are not asking for provision. You are remembering that you have always been the source. The flow was never outside you. It has always been emanating from within. Now in this moment, the angle dissolves, and only truth remains. You and abundance are one eternal current.